As we approach the halfway point to the 2011 harvest, the vineyards and wineries of Napa Valley may appear to be quiet as spring nears, but behind the scenes, the petals are turning and the labs are busy. Winemaker Kristen Belair of Honig monitors the dormant vines and the aging wines. Each area of the valley is distinct because of its soil composition. Honig sits in the Rutherford district.
This particular site is really pretty consistent. It has deep sandy loam soils. We grow cover crops, as you can see here.
Cover crops, such as the mustards that paint the valley yellow this time of year, are used to stabilize the soil by providing stability in the nutrient cycle.
These guys here, the mustards, they like nitrogen. So right now the vines are dormant and these guys are growing, so they're tying up nitrogen right now. And then as that breaks down, it re-releases that nitrogen back to the plants. Generally, we check soil composition, so that would be soil fertility, so we're looking at available nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and then also micronutrients, and then we also analyze that in the plant tissue as well. We measure plant water status with a dendrometer, so what that does is measures stem diameter, and that fluctuates a little bit over depending on how much water is in the plant.
The other side of the grape is the aging wine. After fermentation, winemakers monitor levels of different components in the wine. Enologist Mark Sullivan of Monticello Vineyards.
I basically take care of all the number side of wine. So what I do is go and sample our wines and run analysis on them to monitor their health as they're aging. For aging wine, the most common analysis that I perform are checking free SO2, alcohol levels, volatile acidity, titratable acidity, and pH. Free SO2 measures the amount of sulfur dioxide in the wine, which acts as both an antioxidant, so it protects the wine from excessive exposure to oxygen in the air, and it also acts as an antimicrobial and antifungal agent to prevent any microorganisms from really getting started and reproducing in the wine and causing spoilage. The numbers that I run more or less help quantify to a certain extent what our winemaker Chris is tasting. If you taste a wine that's really, really sharp on the palate, tastes very, very acidic, and then I come back to you and say, oh no, the TA is very, very high and the pH is very low, you'd be like, well, you've told me what I already know. What I do is for those kind of numbers is to help us keep a record for saying, okay, what are normal ranges for our wines? If certain things are kind of going out of those parameters, then we have to kind of take a look at that and make sure that everything's going all right. So it can help make winemaking decisions in that way of making sure that what we're doing with the wine makes the best wine that we can and keeps the risk to a minimum.
Not all wineries have a wine analyst on staff, though. The Napa Valley Think Tank is a laboratory in St. Helena that offers a variety of tests and analyses for winemakers. Mona Ostrander is the technical director there.
The three main components are, that winemakers really are interested in are free SO2 levels, total SO2 levels, and volatile acidity. So there's a lot of analyses per day that we run through the lab. And we're expecting huge growth this year, especially with the addition of some of our new analyses.
And what might these new tests be for? General Manager Karen Fisher.
The microbiological characteristics of wine, so bacteria that are in wine, and they occur naturally, and many of them are good, but winemakers like to measure them and know what's in their wine. We're bringing on a whole bunch of new equipment for phenolic and color and aroma and flavor analyses. So it will take us just to a totally new level. I mean, to really be a full-service laboratory.
So just because the wine is resting and the vines are dormant, doesn't mean the workers are sleeping. Maintaining the health of these plants and the wines keeps this billion-dollar industry ticking all season long. Kristofor Husted, Medill.